Okay, first let me just explain how I got lucky. And this is not about purposeful aspect of it, but certain instances in life just convert you like that. So I think by the time I finished college, I'd lived in some 6 7 different cities. I'd changed a couple of schools and colleges. Now as a result of that, you could become an introvert, and get into your own self, or you could be a person who goes out there and does it. The second coincidence that happened is that I think I was somewhere in grade 10 when I read this book called How to Win Friends and Influence People, Dale Carnegie. Very old book, but very interesting. If you ask me just now, I wouldn't be able to quote anything from there, but I know that it left a very strong impression on me just at the brink, at the time when I was on the brink of going into college, and stuff like that. So that those two things happened then. And then, when I started working, Rajpreet, I discovered that I'm a woman. Okay, you discovered that you're different. There is no positive or negative to it. It's not that there is a bias against you or bias for you. Depending on circumstances, both the things happen. There are times when it is advantageous to be a woman, and there are times when it is disadvantageous to be a woman. But one thing I discovered is that I'm a woman, and that it's not commonplace. When I started working 28 years ago, there was no conversation on diversity and inclusion. There was no, I was pretty much the first woman to do this. I was, one of the first two women management trainees that Tata Motors ever hired. So there were a lot of firsts that happened. On account of that, I also learned over the first 10 years of my working life when I did not network at all. Okay, when I did not network at all, is when I discovered that men network differently, and I don't think that's going to work for me. Okay, so I've been on the other side in the first 10 years where I discovered that I had no networks. Whereas men would do the smoke breaks, they would bond over dinner, they would bond over drink sessions, they would just bond. There were quite a lot of them also. Whereas I could not bond even if I wanted to, because there were hardly any women around, right? And it was not always very easy for a person who doesn't smoke and doesn't drink to bond on smoking breaks and the evening get-togethers. I got I got an opportunity, when I was in HSBC. This was back in 2006. By that time, I had finished 13 years of working. Okay, to become part of a jury for SAIF. In fact, I took out that card recently, and I realized that what is the kind of things that we did back then. So this is something new to me. I met a set of people over there whom I didn't know at all from anywhere. When I was with HSBC, Bombay Management Association invited me to, volunteer for something that they wanted done on Women's Day, and I think that's where the journey started. I at least discovered that by being on juries, by volunteering for, industry associations, I could build a network of people professionally, who were not necessarily my colleagues. Otherwise you could network only with your colleagues. So that's how I spread my wings into knowing other people in the industry. And I still to date strongly recommend to every woman that you look at please doing jury duties for your industry and specialization. Please look at volunteering for industry associations. Be very active over there. Teach at B schools. You notice that I'm on the academic advisory council. I actually recommend my formula to everyone. And, a lot of the times, sorry for the long monologue, Rajpreet, but, a lot of times I get asked this question of being an introvert or an extrovert, because I'm seen to be an extrovert and people think it comes easy to me. But what I say is that, when you're volunteering professionally, or you're a judge, professionally, it does not matter whether you're an introvert or an extrovert. What matters is what you bring to the table.
Let's make this world